Well, come Monday, Fort Vancouver is expected to be a popular area where people will view the solar eclipse. Believe it or not, the fort actually has some historical ties to eclipses of years past, notably a famous eclipse that happened over 150 years ago. Our Taylor Vito spoke with a local historian and joins us live now with more. Taylor?
Yeah, Chris, that's right. In the mid-1800s, an eclipse passed over western Washington. At the time, it was apparently one of the best documented eclipses ever. So get this, stay with me here. Scientists from Washington, D.C. trekked all the way to the Tacoma area to watch the eclipse in person. Giving them an assist were troops from Fort Vancouver.
The most important point is that there have been a number of eclipses that have affected the site.
If you think Fort Vancouver is an irrelevant local attraction, Mary Rose is here to politely disagree with you. The local historian knows her facts about the fort, but also eclipses in the Pacific Northwest.
Eclipses always influence a great amount of involvement.
Rose says that in 1860, the scientific community at the time was getting ready for a total eclipse that would cross over the Washington territory. So the U.S. government sent scientists from Washington, D.C. to the other Washington to view it. The thought was at the time that the journey to the Tacoma area to a viewing spot would be difficult. So the U.S. Army offered up help from Fort Vancouver in getting the scientists and their telescopes there.
We can supply all the mules, all the equipment, all the carriages you need. And oh, by the way, there are roads.
9 years later, an eclipse passed over Alaska, Rose says. And that time, too, the Army had troops from Fort Vancouver accommodate East Coast scientists making their way up to view it.
It was quite a production at that time.
And Fort Vancouver isn't normally open on Mondays, but it will be for the eclipse. The Park Service is making special arrangements. And that historian you just heard from, she'll be giving a presentation on this whole subject, the history of eclipses in the Pacific Northwest. That'll happen at 11:30.